There we go. The lights are on. That's 3, 4, 5 lights. Pause for effect on the side. That's the way they go. We're going to see if anyone gets a clean start. It's a good start from the Alpine there of August. So that's a great move there. Coxey is holding his own. We got off at the back. The Mercedes side by side in the background. We're going to skip through a little bit of contact in towards turn 1. That's an Alpha Tauri going sideways. Collision in the back. It's all chaos, but a lot of the drivers actually making through turn 1, keeping it clean. And we're going to have to wait and see what goes on a little bit overhead. Rosa is in the lead. Coxey just a little bit behind. Is it all going to be clean through turn 4? It looks fairly clean. We've got a little bit further back. There's a slow exit, and that's another off. A little bit of contact there from VMF Gamer. Sorry, that was Dave into the side of Mikey. So Dave losing out. That's going to be a pit stop for him and a wing change. Stranger Craig in that Alpine. Looking like a little bit of a brake check maybe going on there, or just braking a little bit too early, and that's a 3-second time penalty for Craig. And this is all spicing up right at the start of the race. Up ahead, we've got, yeah, Craig is definitely off at the back, so that could be some wing damage for him. But up ahead, Coxey is holding his own. Half a second now behind Footy. There will be no DRS in this race unless the track drives up enough. But AJ Dude down in 14th is made a move on Curate at the moment. So AJ is going to want to try and claw back as much as he can after being involved or maybe getting stuck in the collisions at the start in towards turn number 1. So we stick with this fight at the back. He looks to go the inside of the Ferrari in towards turn 13 around Sagre now of 14. AJ, I know when he did practice at one point, he did suffer a lot of understeer when he was coming around this, but I don't think he's going to have any issues with that downforce on that one, as Rosa does set the fastest lap of the race.
Had a spin, by the way. Coxey's just dropped down, 10 places.
He has, yes, he has. I just saw him at the pit lane, the pit entry. So you can lose the back end of these cars on turn 15. So Coxey's in the pits, I believe. Yes, he is. Ooh. So AJ now is ahead of Mikey, chasing down Neo Nacho. Coxey is out of the session. So that was a big loss for Ferrari in this race. Unsure what happened with that one. Curiosity.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a bit weird. Not sure what happened there.
Ooh, August then late braking on Mikey. Gets him up on the inside of Tori Vip. Turn 5 as VM Gamer does go round the wrong way on that hairpin as well. So this wet conditions definitely catch out some drivers on this track. Are you okay there?
Yes. Yeah, sorry. This needs some "you spin me right round, baby, right round" over the top of it.
True. Yeah, that's very true. But I'm on board at the moment now with Cornish Mantis, who is now stuck behind a fight between Barenko and his cousin. Sorry, and OG Cornish, should we say. So it's the two Mercedes now trailing behind the Aston Martin. And it was a steady move from Cornish to get around Barenko as the fastest laps are coming in. So now it's a little bit of a tow game at the moment. So what are Barenko and Mantis going to want to do? Are they going to come into team orders, or are they just going to try and stick with it and try and track down or chase down Cornish, well, OG Cornish, would say. That's a little bit of an interesting line there from Mantis. Almost like a complete corner cut, but I guess it wasn't. The camera angle's just a bit funny. But at the moment, Rosa leads in the Red Bull by 2.8 seconds. Gibbo now up into P2 following Coxey's retirement from the Ferrari team. Footy is now up into P3, but he is now getting chased down by Cornish OG, Barenko, Cornish Mantis, or Cousin Cornish, but they are now 3-second gap from the other Red Bull of last Simcade. We had a little bit of a wobble at the background. Yes, Cody has lost his wing. That was a turn 4 incident, and I can tell you that now because he's at turn 5. So Cody is going to lose out in that McLaren, and he's going to have to come into the pits. He's running solo today, and it looks like Curator may have an issue as well. Or that might just be... No, Curator is fine, but we'll go a little bit further up ahead. And we'll try and keep an eye on this this fight with Footy as Cornish closes the gap in for Aston Martin with Barenko and Cousin Cornish in the Mercedes chasing down. So Footy is slowly falling away and into the clutches of the Aston Martin.
Oh, it's been rather eventful in its early doors, isn't it? I mean... In terms of movers, Mike Akufans made up 6th place.
Oh, VSC.
Nitro 5. Oh.
Sorry.
Yeah.
So carry on. Sorry, VSC is out and the VSC is in again. As Mikey gets I think there's drive-thrus coming out. I'm sorry, let me just check my telemetry. I didn't mean to cut you off then.
No, it's fine. Yeah, I just saw a VSC as well.
Yes.
A couple of them.
Drive-through, VFM, TRF Dave, and Mikey, all with drive-through penalties for speeding under the virtual safety car. But yes, sorry, you were saying about position changes.
In terms of that virtual safety car, that was extremely short, so maybe we'll look at that afterwards. But yeah, in terms of movers, yeah, so I've already said Mike Akifan made up 6 places. Jack has moved up 6 places as well. Ninja 4. The big losers, well, TRF Dave, obviously, he's dropped 6 places. August dropped 5 places. But he was one of those involved in the shenanigans at the start, wasn't he? So Corey did miss out a bit, but he's made up some ground as well. Who else? Oh, Barenko's no longer in the Cornish sandwich.
So Barenko is off on the track, and while that happened, Cornish has gone past, or did get past Footy. So Footy, so the pass was made for P3 up at the front. So Mantis has now got no backup for the remainder of this race, and it looks like Nassim Cow may be starting to close that gap up a little bit down to 3.4 seconds. So at the moment we got the Red Bull and the Aston Martin sandwich going on up at the front, so these two could play a vital part with each other going on. Footy now down into P4, gets all sideways, keeps it out of the wall. He didn't hold the drift this time round, so that's a Footy. Need to be careful of coming back onto the race line. Nearly hit the back of Mantis. So Mantis up into P4. Nassim Cow up into 5th. The overtakes are coming. He's trying to get the traction to get moving again, and that's what happens here in Portugal when you hit the curb at turn 1 and it just sends the car out of balance. As AJ now looks to make the move on the inside. Does he give it the squeeze? No, he doesn't. Footy looking for the switchback line, but just doesn't quite get the traction down, but then gets a little bit of a tow as they go around towards turn 7. This is not the place to overtake. Can they make it through here? Nice and clean. Craig is now up into P13 after Barenko's pit. As looks like these two are still fine, but I think I've got the replay of the start of the race, as we'll try and put that back on there.
Spin. Sorry, mate.
No, that's fine.
Just had another spin.
So it's going from bad to worse for Footy. But yeah, there's the replay on your screens at the moment of turn 1. So that's AJ just getting caught up in a little bit of an incident at the back, and then there's a McLaren and the Alpine that's going on down there as well. So that's the lap 1, and now I can start recording things once again. So Footy not having the best race at the moment, but he's doing well to keep out the wall. So that keeping that front wing in the wet could be critical for him.
Yeah, it could. I mean, obviously, it's very early days still, isn't it? We've still got a long way. Oh, Footy's lost it.
Footy is
gone. It's out.
That is a dead car from Footy, and that could actually be a full safety car. Yes, it is. It's a full safety car. That car is parked right in front of the pit lane, and this is how easy it is to lose the car in the wet in Portugal. Full safety car. Are we going to see the leaders come in? As just up ahead, AJ was closing in on WS Jack. Excuse me. So that gap's closed down as Cody's now been disqualified for going the wrong way in the session. We're just trying to have a quick look at where he is. That looks like turn 8. That's the turn 8 glitch. That's the, and he's parked this car. The AI has parked this car in the middle of the road. I know that for an absolute fact. So if you spin the car at turn 8, there's no protection behind you. There's no barrier. So if your car naturally spins around, it will count you as going the wrong way in the track. This happened to me in the F2, if you remember, Simi. Last season. Yeah. So that is unfortunate for Cody, and I'm surprised that has not been fixed yet, which is really interesting to see. So that's just absolute unfortunate of you know, the random disqualifying generator, which is Craig. As Craig now is retired from the session. That looks like it's up into turn 4. VMF Gamer, we're gonna try and get if he is still there. He's actually next to the safety car. The Stranger Cake's up in turn 4 where the safety car is at the moment. Hopefully his car is still going to stay. there he is. So look, did the safety car appear in front of Craig and take him out, or did he hit the wall there?
Oh,
His front left's gone. So things are going from crazier to crazier at the moment, and I've suffered the safety car teleportation glitch. So if that was the case, I know how frustrating it is. And Craig did hit the safety car. He just confirmed it in the chat. Did it teleport into you? Please tell us more, because it was there waiting for you. And Cody is absolutely fuming. I don't blame you, Cody.
I would be as well.
It has happened to me. It's happened to a couple of the drivers before, so you are not the only one to suffer that one. I got disqualified in Spain. It was a little nudge into turn 1, hit the curb, and then I got 30 seconds of penalties and disqualified for joining the track.
The problem with that section is there's so much runoff with the grass that it's hard to know, hard to tell which way's the right way initially. Do you get what I mean? Like, if you've had a spin, like, it's hard to gauge which way is the right way, and it's very, very quick to disqualify you if you're going the wrong way. Race should have been called off. Nice try, Footy. Cheers, mate.
Footy's trying to pull the late and great Nicky Lauda there. It's too wet, we can't race, and it was a smart decision.
Maneuver.
Yes.
The Macam maneuver.
Oh dear, but
commiserations, mate.
Yeah, unfortunately, it was a great start to the race, and then it just went from bad to worse. But this is racing, and there's nothing we can do about that one. The track at the moment, though, is still soaking, but you can just about now see the racing line. So this is where the drivers are going to want to maybe start. It depends on what the weather is in front of the cockpit view. We'll have a look. So at the moment, it is still wet, but the racing line is there, so the tires should not be overheating. So it's I wouldn't say it's quite inters, but this rain, I believe, is meant to stay until the end of the race. But the drivers are still making their way around as Neo Nitro has decided to pit at the moment. Could that have been a new wing change? We'll have a look. I don't know, because he's coming out of the pit. But he is gonna lose out to Curator, though, at the moment. So that guy wasn't there. A bold choice. Neo's gone to the inters.
Okay. I mean, I don't know if you've... the rain does seem to have eased somewhat, so...
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So we'll have to see how that pans out.
Well, even with the intermediate compound tyres, they can still get to the end of the race as he goes very late on the brakes. Last thing he wants to do is hit Curator. So the intermediate tyres will go to the end of the race. The wets at the moment will go to the end of the race. But the question is, which is the quickest tyre? That is what we all need to find out. So Nitro, Barenko, and we know Barenko's got some pace around here already. Corey and VMF Gamer all on the intermediate tires, unless they've run out of wets and they've just destroyed them. But we're still waiting for the safety car to come in. We won't find it's not coming in this lap as it's already crossed the threshold of sector 3. So that's when we'll find out exactly when the safety cars are going to come in, and the sector 3 doesn't start until the double right-hander of Portimao of turns 10 and 11. So halfway between 11 and 12, that's where your sector 3 starts, and that's when we'll find out when the safety car comes in. So we've still got a couple of stragglers at the back, but still plenty of laps left to go. As it looks like the intermediates may have been a right call for those at the back, as we see the leaders dive into the pits. Rosa jumps in, Gibbo responds, Cornish responds, but that's going to be a double stack, so Cornish is going to lose out. He is the back car at the moment. He could have backed up the pack. This is going to be painful, sitting and waiting. There goes Rosa at the moment. Looks like we may have another jump up ahead. I'm trying to have a look, quickly see. There is an Alpine. It looks like the Alpine of WS. No, that's not WS Jack. Who is ahead of him? It's August. So it looks like August has got the jump. So Cornish, with that double stack, has cost him out to both AJ and August as he was sitting behind Gibbo. So intermediates are coming out, but is Cousin Cornish going to pit? Is Ninja going to pit? Is WS Jack going to pit? And is Curator going to pit on top of that one?
Yeah, we'll have to see. Are they going to react, or are they going to play safe? Mind you, a lot of drivers have switched to the inters now, haven't they? So, well, we got six of the drivers left on wets. 6 out of the 15. Yeah, we'll have to see how
Yeah.
this pans out. I mean, whether we see the safety car coming in this lap, I don't know. We would have had an alert by now, wouldn't we?
The alert should come up just after this corner. I'm currently on board with Last Ninja Cow, who is staying out, but he is saying that it is driving, and the safety car is out, staying out for one more lap. No, there we go, he's in. Safety car is coming in this lap. It still looks very wet, so are the intermediates going to have enough heat or heat-ish, because you don't want to overheat the intermediates or medium tires. But we're gonna have to wait and find out, as Cornish now controls the pack on the wet tires. Neo is the nearest threat on the intermediates. If the front runners elect to pit, and hopefully we won't have an incident that we had a few years back where we saw the mass car pile up with the late restart from Valtteri Bottas. As we just wait now for the safety car. The safety car is entering the pit lane as we speak. When is Cornish going to go? It looks like he's already gone. So Cornish is gone. TRF Dave dives into the pits, and Ninja got a great restart there. He is hot on his heels. Looking a bit further back, the top wet runners have got away with murder. It looks like Curator is way down at the back there. It's caught napping with 3 seconds gap as Curator and Nitro going next to each other. A bit of squeeze in towards turn one. It looked like maybe a corner cut there from Barenko or Nitro even. So these two side by side, Haas versus Mercedes. All the way up to turn 4. Are the tyres going to be a little bit in the window? The optimal window, it looks like they are, so everyone gets through clean. I say that one we got on off at the back. We don't know who that is.
It was August. It was August.
Oh, that's not going to be good for him. But side by side now, a lot of the drivers in towards turn number 5. The restart was great up at the front. Leo Nitro now has closed the gap down to 2.6 seconds. I think looking at that, oh, as he gets a little bit squirrely on the exit of turn 8, and I finally said it in the right context this time. A late lunge on the inside for Rodder. Is he going to make it stick? No, he doesn't. But these three are fighting at the moment. They're fighting hard for that P4 position. And it looks like the Haas of Neo is just holding up. We've got a yellow flag in the middle. We've got a car off in the background. That is it. Rosa makes a move up the inside. A little bit of a contact there, wheel to wheel. But a little bit further back again, it's all kicking off behind AJ, making a move on the inside of Corey in the AlphaTauri. That's a great move there on towards turn 14. Keeps it clean. And it looks like another little move. Neo Nitro losing out in towards turn 15. He loses out again. Neo Nitro going very, very wide. Unsure what can happen with that one. But rejoins the track just ahead of Gibbo. Looking a bit further back though. Gibbo wants to get the move past. Deployable energy on Neo Nitro is, well, looks like he's gone. Late on the brakes. Corey nearly taking out his teammate in towards turn 1. A little bit desync. I think that happened there, but these are all side by side. Gibbo's thinking about it, but I don't think he wants to. The wet runners now 2 tenths, only less than half a second apart. Rosberg has closed up at the front. Something's happened up at the front. He's side by side with WS Jack. Intermediates versus wet tyres. Looks like the Inters have got a little bit more grip. They need to be careful not to make contact. Gives a little bit of a squeeze, but look like Jack went deep on the brakes. Gibbo now ahead of Curry in the house. Rosa back up into P3 on the intermediate tyres. Jack down to 4th. Down to the threat from Barenko. Barenko going up the inside. It looks like turn number 8, and that's a bold place to make an overtake. It looks like he's made it stick. They are 3 abreast. They are actually 3 abreast going in towards turn number 9. Barenko holds it, a little bit of a nudge there from WS Jack and AJ, but AJ, the intermediates are the tyres to go. We're going to see the drivers come in. Rose is now up into P1 after making the move. AJ is on the hunt. AJ is on the prowl to get ahead of this Mercedes duo as Barenko makes a move. No, Cornish goes wide. Gets a little bit of overseed, and that's just like AJ through. And Gibbo is now on the charge behind him. Goes around the outside of Mantis. And he has made that move stick. A look what's going on up ahead. AJ, Last Ninja Cow. AJ ahead of Ninja. Ninja is diving into the pits. That is the move that he needs to make. The intermediates is the tire to be. And those wet runners, those wet runners are going to struggle. And this is the time to change. But AJ and Barenko holding him off. And he gets a 3-second time penalty. So this is going to play great into AJ's hands. But he needs to watch out because Gibbo is behind. He is a big threat at the moment. They're all on the intermediate tyres. And what can AJ do here? On anyone.
And breathe, Jack, breathe.
I know.
Wow, that was insane. Like, so many cars were in a line with one another. Like, that 3 abreast was insane. How they didn't touch one another. dearie me. But yeah, most of the drivers now on inters. Only a couple left on wets. Mike Aki fan had a bit of a spin, but he got back underway. Who pitted just then? That was Ninja, Cousin Cornish, and WS Jack, I think. They just switched from wets to inters. So, whew.
I believe they all have, and Gibbo has now gotten past AJ. So AJ in 4th position at the moment. Gibbo up into 3rd. So currently Red Bull are leading against the Mercedes, who are being chased down by one bloodthirsty Gibbo, who has had a lot of spinalas, a lot of squirrely exits, and hasn't done well with the points at the moment. In the last few races, Rosa now setting a new fastest lap. Are we going to see a move from the Aston Martin? It looks like there's a defensive move on from the Mercedes. He goes around the outside later on the brakes. Can he keep it within the track limits? Yes, he can. And Gibbo now moves up into turn 2, pulling a Esteban Ocon and a Lance Stroll overtaking maneuver in towards turn 1, or just before turn 1, which is exactly what he needs. And what can he do to back up that Mercedes in towards AJ? Can he do that? Or is Gibbo going to go on the charge and see if he can just close that gap to Rosa, who seems to be cruising up in P1 at the moment?
He does, yeah. Yeah, the master of the wet at the minute. So as VFM Gamer just picks up another 3-second penalty. I have to say, I'm going to tempt fate here, but it's quite impressive how few drivers have got penalties so far, considering how challenging this track is.
Well, you've definitely tempted fate right there.
Yeah,
you definitely tempted fate.
Yeah.
But it looks like at the moment, I think I just saw a little bit of graining on the back right of Corey's car. Of August's car. But if what's interesting to see at the moment is that those wet puddles have gone on the track. This is definitely the Inters crossover. You can just see the lap times coming down. If it stays like this, Gibbo is definitely chasing him. Closes the gap now to 2.8 seconds. Oh, as August goes very wide on the exit. But I don't think he got a warning for that one. But if it keeps going as it is, there is a chance that we could see the option tires coming on. The soft, the medium, but not the hard, because I would not want to be driving on the hard on a slippy track. So at the moment, the way it's going, we're just under the halfway point of this Grand Prix. We could see soft tires towards the end of the race.
Yeah, possibly. I'm quite surprised Mike's still on wets. I must say he's really struggling. I was watching him earlier on. Yeah, he's going to come in now. So yeah, potentially. Yeah, we could see softs. You're right. We'll have to see what the weather does.
It is, and I've also just realised that my replay feature is now stuck in a loop, so I do apologise for that. I get too excited when I'm engrossed into the racing. It didn't want to switch back. I don't know. I was slightly confused. But anyway, we're back to it, back to live. But at least you've still got the live footage in the top right hand corner. There you go. So that's a boo boo from me. So I do apologise. But AJ is now caught in a bit of a sandwich. He does get a bad exit out 15. Looks like Cornish did get a slightly better exit, but AJ may be running slightly less downforce. He looks to go around the outside turn 1. AJ is giving him plenty of room there. Maybe a little bit of a squeeze, but that's fair racing. That's going on. That is very, very fair indeed. Corey gets a 3-second time penalty now in P6. Slight lift going around turn 4. AJ kick of oversteer on the exit. A better exit for Cornish in towards turn 5 of Tory Vip. AJ wide of the apex. Looks like a little bit of a mini switchback line going on there. And Cornish did get a great exit.
Sorry, VFM Gamer's out. He's just crashed.
Oh, this is going to be quite touch and go. Sorry, at the moment, this is turn number 8 and just about hold
Safety
it.
car.
Cornish, I think, just got the overtake made on AJ. So Cornish gets the overtake just before the safety car comes out. And what would you do as a driver here? Would you pit for a fresh set of intermediates, or would you stay out on that tyre and wait to see if it dries up towards the end of the race?
I think we got I mean, Barenko should pit, really, maybe. He's done 9 laps on his inters, but yeah, quite a lot of the drivers are on fresher inters, aren't they? So, I don't know. I mean, I think they ought to stay on inters for now. And
Well, I believe
yeah.
that would be the right choice to do. I'm just testing your driving skills.
Well, obviously, yeah, it's too soon to go off inters, but I mean, the likes of Corey and Barenko, they ought to pit for a fresh set of inters now, I think. As Mike Akifan's gone on to inters as well, so.
But yeah. Mike finally decided to come in. So inters is the way to go at the moment, but I don't know. Are they expecting the track to dry out towards the end of the race? And these runners are just going to try and, you know, go as deep as they can into the stint, as Barenko is on 10-lap old intermediate tyres, but has fought his way back up to P3.
He has, yeah. He's made up a lot of ground. Yeah.
So plenty of life left in them tyres, and we are just about now coming to the halfway point in this race. And Craig's saying my son wants to play his race, but my son wants to play his race, but it'll be in the chat. No worries, Craig. Hope your son does well in on his race. But now, still waiting for the cars to come around. We do have TRF Dave is in last place at the moment, and he has been lapped. No, he hasn't been lapped. He's nearly been lapped. No, he has been lapped.
I think it's AI. I think I saw the had the red cross above his name.
He's ghosted. He is ghosted. Yeah. So DRF Day, I think might have been a disconnection issue, but then so that leaves Mikey at the back, and he's only just come across the start-finish line. So we could see the safety car out for, I would say, maybe 3 laps, which would bring us to lap 19 of the Grand Prix, and then that will take us. Oh, I've got to do maths now. About 14 laps to the end of the race.
Yeah, how many laps do you see the inters, a pair of inters lasting? Do you think?
I think the intermediates will go to the end. Barenko may struggle towards. I would probably going to say maybe around about lap 24. Lap 24, lap 25. Okay. I think Barenko is going to struggle. But then again, the tyre wear will start going on the rest of them. As long as they can keep manage the temperatures, then these tyres will definitely go to the end of the race. And as long as the track doesn't dry up too much either, because the moment that you start overheating these compounds, at least the wet compounds, that's when trouble starts. And you might see a couple of drivers under the safety car maybe trying to go for some of the wet patches. When the race restarts, they're going to pull off the racing line just to keep the temperatures down, because the track is looking very dry. There's very little spray on it. I don't think we're too far away from a crossover, you know.
Yeah, could well be. I was just about to say Corey and August have had 2 stops. Everyone else has had 1, so doesn't bode well for Corey or August, really, because, well, they're on 9 and 7 lap old inters, so they're due a 3rd stop at some point. So I think that'll be a factor.
No, yeah. I don't think they're going to stop. Like I said, Barenko's on 11 lap old tyres. Barenko will. I reckon they'll be able to go to the end, but the crossover seems close. As Rosa there putting on a little bit of show, trying to get some heat into them rear tires, and almost loses it. That squirrel came out, and I think he just went a little bit 50p, 20p in that car, and may need a new set of boxer shorts after that near miss or mishap.
Yeah. Oh,
easy now, children. Is that Gibbo coming into the pits? Oh, Gibbo.
Barenko
so Gibbo and Barenko comes in. Oh, is this the gamble? Is this the trigger for the gamble? We'll have to wait and see. Soft tires are going on Barenko's car. This is a gamble. The soft tires may or may not be able to last this long in the race. I think it's low tire wear here. This is a very, very big gamble at the moment. The trigger has been pulled for the option tires. Curator is going foot to the floor. So what is going to happen? Will actually Curator get ahead of him? No, he doesn't. So Correa just misses out. The trigger's been pulled to me.
It has, yeah. They heard you utter the word soft, and yeah, fast style straight through to him. Come straight into the pits. That was a last minute move as well by both of them.
It was. I don't think they wanted to keep Rosa on his toes. I want to see what the rest of the pack is doing. We are definitely going to have to keep an eye on both of these drivers, as luckily for them, they did get out ahead of Curator, which was key. So when the race restarts, probably, well, I said about lap 19 for me, as Mikey has taken the gamble as well, but Mikey was quite far back. So lap 19 is the safety car going to come in, and this could be a bold move. It is still wet. It is almost at the crossover, but will the rain come back? As I have
safety car in this lap. Yep.
It is, and I'm just looking at Gibbo. Oh, nearly goes into the back of Barenko. I don't think it's ready yet. The crossover isn't quite there, but when it is, you'll see the DRS activation will pop up on the screen. As unsure what's going on at the back with these two swapping positions under the safety car, but Rosa has the pace of the field. TRF Dave manages to come back almost a lap down. When is Rosa going to go? It looks like he's waiting. Rosa's in the pits. Rosa has dived in. Cornish is in the pits. AJ is in the pits. Everyone is coming into the pits, which now means Ninja now takes the lead of the Grand Prix. Double S Jack is also in P2. It's their restart when the leaders jump into the pits, and Barenko and Gibbo going side by side. They are going at it. This is now the time to switch tires. The track is dry. The rain has stopped. This is now the time to go in. Watch them two at the front. You'll see the back ends go. The mediums are on for Cornish. The mediums are soft coming in. Look at the traction that you get from the soft compound tires. There's absolutely nothing you can do. Go up the inside. That's a late lunge, but look how late you can brake. The intermediates are dead at this point. Gibbo now stuck behind Double S Jack and Last Ninja Cow. This could hamper Rosa now, who's led the race pretty much from start to finish. As they go wide, the heat is coming through. Dave has retired from the session because he's just too far back. Ninja's not putting up a fight. Jack is going to hold out there. The DRS will be activated in around about 20 seconds time. I'm calling it there. Within 20 seconds, the DRS is going to be active. As there goes the move on the outside, around the outside. You can just see the traction of the soft tires. We've probably got about 10 more seconds, and that DRS is going to fly open. Oh, it will be activated. Please don't let me down. My predictions are usually there. Yellow flag as Dave has retired from the session, and Barenko is gone. Jack and Ninja are going to come in to the pits. I thought that was the DRS activation, but it's not. Barenko setting the fastest lap of the race at the moment, but expect that to not happen. Jack with a 5-second speeding in the pit lane. Ninja, I think, getting away with it. So these two are going to be fighting as soon as they come out. There is no telemetry at the moment, but this is spicy.
It is.
Rosa's stayed out. No, he hasn't. Rosa's come in. Oh, it said intermediates on my screen. I'm sorry, but there is. But DRS will be active on this lap. I said 20 seconds. I meant lap 20. Just to throw that out there. So at the moment, 13 drivers left on track. The soft tires are out, and you know what, Timmy? I think the softs can actually get to the end here.
Oh, do you? Yeah, I was about to say a few of the drivers are on. They've decided to go medium. So OG Cornish, AJ, Corey, Curator, Last Ninja Cow, Neo Nitro. Jack's tried the soft. So yeah. So you think the soft? Oh, Corey's had
Corey had a bit of an incident down to turn 10. His wing is intact, so maybe a little love tap from the rear. But Corey now dropping down 3 places. He was in the points, but he's just outside of him.
Oh yeah, he's he's a bit wobbly. So you really think the softs will? Yeah, sorry. Yep, we should ban the word wobbly. Squarely is the word.
Yeah. But yeah, the DRS is enabled now. So these soft tires will be able to go to the end of the race. We are going to see some heavy overtaking now as the pack is all together.
I know. Prepare yourself, mate. Have a bit of a drink. Because it's going to get spicy.
It's going to get very spicy. Last Ninja Cow is trying to get around Double S Jack. Double S Jack getting a very bad exit in the final sector. They are side by side. The DRS is activated, but not at this time because this is the lap it's activated on. They will get it after turn 4. So at the moment, Mikey is up in P8. He has the right to defend for position. There's the DRS detection. I think Mikey was just ahead at this time, so he won't pick it up. There's the wing. That's open. The letterbox. Ninja gets a great exit. He's on the medium tires. There is nothing that Jack can do there because Mikey's braking point threw Jack off. And this is now let Corey creep in. So it is Mikey who is playing a key role in the Ferrari as he does kind of get out of the way. Nearly makes a collision there with Jack. A little bit of a bump and grind on the wheels. Jack around the outside. Jack is gone in towards turn number 8. And that is not what you want. And we'll just check that on the replay as Jack does go off at turn 8. You'll just see it, the rear wing camera. We saw it was going to catch people out on the race in the wet, but now it is even in the dry that this is catching other drivers. Corey is out. That looks like it's in unsure quite what was going on there. WS Jack is ahead of him, so Corey's car is still running on track. Wing's gone. Front wing damage on the front of that Haas. So the Haas of Neo Nitro is the only car that is running at the moment. No virtual safety car needed. And Barenko has been overtaken by Gibbo. I believe that was a position change up at the front.
Yeah, I believe so as well. Obviously, Barenko's got penalties. So how many seconds has he got? Let's see. Oh, 3 seconds. So, yeah. Oh, Jack's got 8 seconds of penalties. So that doesn't bode well for him. Obviously, the spin didn't help. Blooming turn 8. I was watching a bit of his stream before the race, and yeah, he was kept worrying about turn 8.
Yeah, it's
he'll be kicking himself.
It is, and it'd be interesting to see how the new the F1 2022 cars handle Portimao, because they are coming back here from what I remember seeing in the calendar and using ground effect, but it's a bit of a roller coaster. It's an up and a downhill, but the ground effect's designed to suck the car in, whereas if you're using regular downforce, gravity still can push the back end up. So when the car gets a bit light, so it'd be interesting to see in Portimao and some tracks is how much the ground effect of the 2022 cars are going to play. It's like how much difference is it going to be?
Yeah, we'll have to see. What month is it on the calendar roughly? Trying to think.
That is a good question, well presented, and I don't know the answer to that one.
I'd imagine. Yeah. Would it be pre or post Silverstone? Post Silverstone.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I believe it was post.
Yep.
Sorry. Mantis there getting squirrely at the exit of the double right-handers at the bit where it goes up the hill and then down the hill. He got a little bit squirrely on the exit. Is Neo Nitro. Looks like he's made a move past Curator. So that's that one. WS Jack is now gone past Mikey. So a couple of movers going on as I think Neo had a bit of a wobble. So Neo made the overtake and then lost it again. So Curator holding in that Williams in P9. 12 seconds behind last Ninja Cow. So maybe a little bit of a wobble there as Rosa picks up a 3-second time penalty for exceeding track limits, and that was at the exit of turn 1. But he's not closing that gap down enough. Only 1 second over the last 2 laps, so he's half a second a lap quicker at the moment than Barenko by the looks of things. But there is 9 laps left to go in this Grand Prix.
Yeah, and Gibbo and Barenko both on 5-lap-old softs. Rosa on 4-lap-old softs. Whether we see, I mean, do you think softs are the best option at the minute, or the mediums pretty good performance-wise in comparison? Or I mean, obviously, OG Cornish and AJ are next on the mediums, so.
Yeah, I think the mediums will definitely get to the end. The softs may drop off the cliff at this stage of the race. It may be in about 2 laps time, and if the drivers had underfueled the car for when it started raining, Gibbo just opening that gap up. So 6-lap-old soft tires, they're going to be touching the edge of the cliff in the next maybe 3 to 4 laps, which will then bring us to 29, and it may be a struggle to get them to the end, especially when the rear starts overheating, because this is a very front left heavy track, if I remember. But the tire deg here isn't that, but there's not a lot. There's not a lot of tire deg on Portimao, but if you start the softs, who are pretty much committing to a 2-stop with the heavy fuel load on board, and Rosa is flying at the moment, and he's closed that gap down now from 16 seconds to 11 seconds. Even August is off.
Out. Yeah, virtual safety car. Oh, full safety car.
Oh, this is just this is an interesting one. Gibbo would almost have a free pit stop against Rosa, as we're on board with Neo Nitro. If we can see where that Alpine is, there it is on the right hand side. It just disappeared. So interesting. No, that was nearly at turn 5. It was just before turn 5 on the DRS. So curious. I wonder if August is gonna tell us what happened there. But yeah, Gibbo had a free pit stop, and they look at the top 3 now, all boxing for fresh set of soft tires. There goes Rosa in the Red Bull. No wing change, so all is well and hunky-dory up at the front. So these are going to run 2 at the end of the race, but Rosa, that advantage gone.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say earlier about the 2 guys that were on mediums, because they didn't have any penalties, and they've just switched to softs. So yeah,
now would be the time to do the sprint at the end. The mediums, you would just lose too much time on the mediums. Or you could play, or you could play a blocking game with the medium tires, and trying to overheat them when you're stuck in that dirty air of the car in front of you. There's nothing else. There's nothing else you could do. Your engine overheats, your tire wear increases, your tires then start to overheat. Could they have played that factor? Absolutely, they could. But they have chosen to come in.
Yeah, I reckon OG Cornish and AJ are sitting prettier. Really, they've got no penalties. They're on fresher softs, so they're not going to fall off the cliff as much. So we'll have to see how they both fare, really. Obviously, Gibbo is first with no penalties, but we don't know.
We know what Gibbo's like. He might bin it. He might bin it 2 laps. Well, I'm only stating the facts. This is just from an analysis point of view. Gibbo may bin it about 2 laps to the end of the race, unless he does get a penalty. Poor Gibbo, but we all know it's true. But at the moment, though, that's facts. But Barenko and Rosa both have a 3-second time penalty, which now, if Cornish and AJ, well, actually, you got AJ stuck in a cousin sandwich of the Cornishes, the Cornish cousin sandwich.
No one wants to be in that, do they? Let's be honest, right?
Not at all. But what can happen further down the what is going to happen? We don't know. But the penalties could play a key factor. 3 seconds is the gap that they just need to stay within. But as cars are battling on track, they're going to lose cars to the time behind. As it's anyone's game at this stage of the race.
It really is. Yeah. I mean, well, we 7 laps to go. We'll probably see the safety car come in. What, next lap, perhaps?
Well, the pack is spread out quite a lot, so maybe I think the safety car will come out 2 laps. But this is the maximum amount of safety cars that is allowed in this race. So you only get 3 safety cars and I think 4 virtual safety cars, or as many virtual safety cars as needed. But this is the last safety car that is able to be deployed in this race. So virtual safety cars only, and I feel like this is Abu Dhabi all over again.
Yep.
This is not fair, but it is what it is. It's motor racing in the game. I still disagree with decisions in Abu Dhabi. Won't get into that.
Still
So
bitter, but it's swiftly
yeah.
moving on.
It is, but I'm just trying to see where the cars are on track. We've got Curator and Mikey there rounding around turn 8 and 9. So we could see the safety car in this lap. No, we are not. Safety car is out for another lap, so we will be back to normal racing on lap number 29. Or as the cars cross the line on lap 29. And remember, there is no DRS for 2 laps post safety car. The track is dry. Everyone is on the soft compound tires. 2 laps later, the drivers will get the drag reduction system, and it is very strong in Portimao, as they did extend, if I remember, Simi, they extended the DRS zone by, was it 20 to 30 meters this season or last year?
I don't know, if I'm honest, but which zone would this have been?
This would be the start finish.
Oh, the start finish.
Yeah,
well, that makes sense. Like, it makes much better racing that way. So,
wow.
Does it start sooner or it ends later?
I think it ends later.
It ends later, right? Okay. Ooh, Rosa got very close to the back of Barenko there.
Yeah, this is the one time that you do not want to pick up a 5-second time penalty for a collision under this safety car, because that will just ruin your race. And even if you give it even if you just blow on the rear diffuser, it will probably give you a penalty from that. But we want to try and avoid that one, as the cars do nicely go side by side instead of directly behind each other. So a little bit of discipline, well disciplined under the safety car for this restart anyway.
Yeah, people should be allowed to blow what they want, but anyway, swiftly moving on. Yeah.
That's so bad.
I know, sorry.
That is terrible.
Yeah. And obviously, AJ is going to want to get out of the Cornish sandwich. So, yeah, I thought it bodes really well, doesn't it, for the last few laps?
It does. And look,
drivers still with no penalties. So,
and do you know what else is incredible? As the safety car is in this lap, look down in P10. It's the man, the myth, the legend. It's Mikey in his Ferrari. Could he now score his 3rd points race, or his 3rd set of points in 3 races? Because I believe he scored in the last in Baku, then in Spa. Can he make it a hat trick?
Are they all single points
in Portugal
as well? Like,
they are.
Were they both 10th place? Yeah.
No, we got 9th at one point.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So sorry, Mike. When you listen.
Sorry. Sorry. Something's going on. So, Gibber with an issue. No, he didn't. What? Something's happening here. I think he's just pulled a Portimao. He sped up for the safety car and then he slowed down. I think the game just told him to slow down. He's going too quick for the safety car. Had actually come into the pit lane. It's thrown a lot of the drivers off. Barenko and Rosa are going at it. So Rosa definitely wasn't caught sleeping. As AJ gets, and my guess is a 5-second penalty for an illegal overtake under the safety car, so that might come under review. That's a very strange one. That was a bit of a strange safety car restart, but Barenko, so Gibbo at the moment pulled the trigger, but then slowed down, so it's really awkward to see what happened there. May need to find out after the Grand Prix, but Barenko holding off P2 squarely on turn 8, and that is the move made by Rosa. Rosa now up into P2, and the hunt can begin to get the race win off Gibbo. 1.5 seconds behind, but Barenko is not going to give up very easily in this race. So Barenko will fight, as Cornish now is creeping up behind in the Aston Martin. Nitro getting a 3-second time penalty. The penalties are coming in thick and fast, and it's very unusual to see why. A lot of ignoring yellow flags, which is questionable at best after that safety car restart, but we'll keep an eye out on the front. So we've got a 3-way fight for P2 at the moment with Cornish, Barenko and Rosa. DRS still not active on these cars. It'll be activated next lap in the 2nd DRS zone at turn 4, and these softs will make it with 4 laps left to go in the Portimao Grand Prix for the Simcade F1 2021-2022 Season 1 Championships. Get there in the end.
Yes, and brief. Yeah, Cornish is closed right up on Barenko. So he's closed up a gap there, and Roz is absolutely flying. Yeah, almost getting, less than a second behind Gibbo. Yep, he is now. So
Roza has picked up the DRS, and Barenko, though, I'm just saying, very slow exit out of turn 8.
Yeah.
That Cornish had to back off. Back off, brake a little bit too early, but he's still within that DRS window. But he could even be close enough now as we look at their deployment. Barenko is deploying so much battery. He's only on about 30-odd%. Cornish, however, is on about 70%. And this could be a straightforward overtake as the drivers cross the line. Give us a fast lap. Rosa sets a fast lap now. And this could be a straightforward overtake. He's got the toe. The toe alone is enough. There's the marker. DRS enabled. He's going to go around the outside. Is he going to pull a Lance Stroll? No, he doesn't quite, but he's going for the switchback onto turn 2. That was a brave move into turn 3 now. And that is a brilliant overtake. Can he keep it together in towards turn 4? Does he get a good exit, but loses out on the DRS? Barenko is coming out side by side in towards turn number 5. Up the inside, gives him the little squeeze, but that is clean, and they are still side by side. Onboard action here in towards turn 7. So they're both Tokyo drifting around turn 7. That is well held from both of them. And I'm sorry, but I'm going to undo the fair play move. But we can watch that one later. But I am saving that Tokyo drift moment because, wow, and they didn't make contact to go with it. That is incredible. But look how much time they've lost towards Rosa. 3 seconds because these two are fighting. And at the moment, Cornish is going to hold that P3 on the penalties because Rosa's got 3 seconds if I'm correct.
Yes.
So Cornish still in contention then for P2 if he can find 0.2 of a second for the next couple of laps. But maybe he doesn't need it.
Coming for Barenko, sorry.
AJ's coming and Gibbo's coming as well. That's a very late defensive maneuver. AJ, is he going to be later on the brakes? Side by side in towards turn 1. A little bit of wheel-to-wheel contact there. In towards turn 2. Doesn't quite make it happen, but he gets the switchback line in towards turn 3, gives him a little bit of the squeeze. Now the switchback again. They are banging the wheels. The Mercedes and the AlphaTauri, but Barenko has the DRS, will pull the trigger later on the brakes. Can he keep it clean? Cornish is behind. Ninja's now making a move on the Cornish Mantis. Down at the back, AJ with a brilliant switchback line going on there in towards turn number 7. He looks ahead of him. That looked like it was a little bit of contact, but it seems okay at the moment. In towards turn 8. Can they keep it straight? Yes, they can. Wow. On the power. And this is spicy towards the end. Absolute beautiful. A little bit of wheel-to-wheel contact there as the Barenko looks to make a move on the inside on that late apex on the turn number 11. But wow, this is getting interesting. Look a bit further back though. Ninja is in on the fight. This is incredible. And the DRS train is going to be incredible. So AJ is going to lose out. And will he lose out to Cornish as well? Is he going to get double teamed by the Mercedes? Ninja is just in the DRS. We'll be able to see now up ahead. Look at that train going.
Rosa and Gibbo fighting it out.
They are. So it looks like another dummy move, but there was a bit of contact there, and there's too much happening on track at the moment. AJ holds in front of Barenko, but look how close the gap is. Gibbo with the DRS, rather trying to break the toe. This is the final lap of the race. Do they have enough battery left? No, they don't. They are both harvesting. They are both in harvesting mode, and looks like Cornish has managed to open up. So something happened. Maybe a little bit further back. Yes, Cornish. No, everything is in order. Mantis is gone. No, Barenko's gone. Turn 8, Squirrely on the exit, sideways. But that is it. That is Ninja up into 6th at the moment as it stands. Looking ahead though, 2 more corners left to go. 3 more corners left to go. Gibbo is in that 3-second window, and so is Cornish. Rosa at the moment is going to get put down into P3, and it could be a 1-2 for the Aston Martin team. Is he going to do it on the track? Rosa's across the line, takes the win on track. Gibbo now promoted up into P1, and Cornish is out of the P2 contention by 1/100th of a second. Rosa by the skin of his DRS. holds on to P2. Mantis up into 4th. AJ holds in 5th. Ninja in 6th. Barenko Light with that unfortunate spin in that last lap. Down into 7th. Nitro in 8th. WS Jack in 9th. And lo and behold, the Ferrari of Mikey gets the final point. And wow, Mikey with the driver of the day. Mikey with the driver of the day, of course. 3 point scores, 3 point scores finishes in a row. And wow, that could have been an Aston Martin 1-2 with the penalties implied, but 0.014 was the gap at the end of that. So losing out on P3, but double Aston podium. Gibbo taking the top spot.
What a race. Bloody hell, we had a bit of everything, didn't it?
That was spicy, but that is your standings for the end of that Portuguese Grand Prix. Gibbo takes the win courtesy of a 3-second time penalty from Rosa Sky, who ends up in P2 by the skin of his DRS with 14 hundredths of a second gap between Cornish. So the Aston Martins miss out on the 1-2. Mantis up into 4th from Mercedes. AJ holds on to 5th place. Ninja Cow sneaking up to 6th, with Barenko dropping to 7th after a spin in turn 8. Nitro, WS Jack, and Mikey scoring his 3rd points finish in a row.